Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday morning meditation gathering. I'm so glad you're all here to share this time together. This week we have John Campbell, who's going to lead us into meditation. We'll have 20 minutes of silence, and after that we'll open it up for sharing. And we'll end more or less about 10:45. Over to you, John.
Okay, there we go. You ought to be able to hear me now. So, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay, Dan? Yeah?
Yep, can hear you.
Yeah, good. Yes, thank you all for being here this morning. And thank you, Dan and Teresa and everybody from the network for hosting these Wednesday mornings, because they've been a godsend to me, especially during these times. And I always look forward to them. It's lovely to be gathered here together. And this morning, it kind of dawned on me that we've had almost a year together without any of us perhaps physically meeting. And some of us have never met physically, but it doesn't really matter. So I thought this morning, what I'd like to invite you to do first of all is just to close your eyes and let's use our mind, because I'm going to start with a prayer. But what I'd like you to do first of all is, in whatever way works for you, is with your eyes closed, imagine all of us in that first time we're going to meet together. Imagine us meeting in a beautiful room, however it looks to you, cushions everywhere and everybody's there. Everybody in this group is there together for the very first time. It's a beautiful room with colorful flowers and cushions, and people are laying around, some are sitting, some are kneeling, and we're all together and we're feeling joy. It's the first time we've ever got together physically as a group. What a wonderful day. And there's an old thing, I always say every story has an end, and the story we're in at the moment is going to have an end too. And I, for one, am looking forward to being able to connect. So with that picture in your mind, I'm just going to say a little prayer. Beloved Mother, Father, God, we thank you for the gift that these mighty companions are in our life. We know that you have arranged for all of us to be here today to help us find, know, heal, and forgive ourselves. We give to you our relationship with each other, and we thank you for taking us all and holding us all in your loving arms, that together we may remember all that is truthful and learn to forget all that is false. We give to you our mistaken belief that we are separate from you, from each other, or from anyone. And we give to you our desire to remember that we are one with you, with each other, and with everyone. We thank you for your courage and your strength, which bursts forth from within us, helping us to truly commit to love, to commit to union, to commit to peace, and to commit to joy in these and in all our relationships. For it is our will and yours that we be free, that we be happy, and that we be at peace. Thank you. Amen. And just keeping your eyes closed for the moment, just let those words seep in, because they're true. That is why we're all together. One of the things that attracted me to the course when I first got to know it was that it seemed difficult and complicated, but it was really simple when I didn't try and understand it. And one of the things that really thrilled me was I'm not normally one that's good for reading instructions. If ever I buy a new implement or something for the house or whatever, I just can't be bothered reading instructions. I just want to get in there and get it going and get it started. However, I was really pleased that I took time to really read the instructions in the course that just mentioned that I didn't have to understand it. I did not have to understand it. And that, for me, was like manna from heaven. And then I eventually realized that the course was all about forgiveness. That's all the course was about, forgiveness. Completely and utterly focused on forgiveness of anything which seemed to disturb our peace. And so I'd like to read one of my favorite passages from the course, from lesson 122. Forgiveness offers everything I want. What could you want forgiveness cannot give? Do you want peace? Forgiveness offers it. Do you want happiness, a quiet mind, a certainty of purpose and a sense of worth and beauty that transcends the world? Do you want care and safety and the warmth of sure protection always? Do you want a quietness that cannot be disturbed, a gentleness that never can be hurt, a deep abiding comfort, and a rest so perfect it can never be upset? All this forgiveness offers you, and more. It sparkles on your eyes as you awake and gives you joy with which to meet the day. It soothes your forehead while you sleep and rests upon your eyelids, so you see no dreams of fear and evil, malice and attack. And when you wake again, it offers you another day of happiness and peace. All this forgiveness offers you, and more. So when I read those words, I think to myself, wow, yeah, I'd love all of those things. And if, as the Course promises, that forgiveness provides them, it reminds me of how really important it is. And I'd like to go into the silence of the meditation to invite you to use this time we've got together, this non-judgmental, non-critical time, just to allow anything, any person or any situation. Forgiveness is not just for people, it's for situations that knock us off our peace. But anything at all which has had the power recently to maybe disturb your peace, or where you felt a little bit of irritation, bearing in mind that the Course also says that we soon become aware that the slight tinge of annoyance isn't covering a veil of fury. So it's helpful to address all those little ones as well. So bring anything like that you like to into your mind in complete innocence. And then I'd like to just introduce those 4 simple phrases, which I'm sure some of you will know from Ho'oponopono, which I found very helpful because it's simple, and Ho'oponopono works exactly on the same principles that the Course does, that everything is inside of us. And as you hold that vision in your mind, just keep repeating, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And if your mind tends to wander during the silence, that's okay. Just bring it back to those 4 phrases. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you.
Open your eyes slowly and come back into the room. We have about 20 minutes left for sharing your reflections and your questions. If you'd like to speak, raise your hand, or you could use the reactions button at the bottom of the screen, and I'll take you off of mute. And if you'd like to ask John a comment or a question with confidentiality, put your message in the chat function at the bottom of the screen, and I'll read it out. Who'd like to share? Vivian, take yourself off of mute.
Yes, I would just like to say that one of the lovely things about that introduction by John was the sense of us all being in a room together. Mm. And so, first of all, in the meditation, I was there with us all in the room, all feeling very happy and loving and pleased to meet each other. And then we all got into a big group hug, which was just lovely. Really felt that as if we were all there in this lovely group hug. And then the lovely thing that happened, that Jesus joined the group in the group hug. And we were there with him in that physical presence. And that was just lovely. So that was a really nice way of enjoying this meditation group. The other thing is forgiveness. You were talking about. I had an extraordinary experience the other day when a friend of mine who'd had a nasty accident broke her hip and ended up in hospital at the time of the COVID crisis and one thing and another. Anyway, I had a conversation with her and I was asking her about her treatment and things. And for some reason, she seemed to think that I was questioning her whole NHS support system, which I really wasn't at all. I was asking fairly what had happened here and what happened there, quite normal questions. Anyway, she absolutely went into a total rant, accused me of bringing her to tears and one thing and another. I was quite shocked and nonplussed. Anyway, it was a real attack, and I thought, gosh, what has happened here? And then I thought, well, this can only be my attack thoughts coming back to me. So I'm the source of this. So I said to you are spirit, in my mind, you are innocent. You are spirit, whole and innocent. All is forgiven and released. And I said that several times. Well, within 24 hours, I had the most lovely email back from her saying, I can only apologize for my awful rant the other day. She said, you are so kind and gentle with me. And I thought, isn't that amazing? Just the effect of doing the right thing. It just really works. So I just thought I'd share that with you.
Yes, thank you, Vivian. I mean, it's true. It is true. It's I always have to remember, I'm doing this and it's going to benefit everyone. And it's so true. It happens time and again when we get back into that place. It's somehow corrected. But for me, the important thing is not being attached to anything coming back. Sometimes that's one of my forgiveness lessons I have to learn, is when I don't get a reaction, I have to forgive. Again, it's all about forgiveness. It's become my hobby. It's a great hobby. So thank you for sharing that. Beautiful. And how lovely just to allow those visions to come in our own personal meditation, the vision of Jesus. That was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Desiree, would you like to share?
Yes, please. Thank you. Oh, this was so beautiful. I'm so very touched by this 20 minutes. And this is what forgiveness is. And yeah, just feel an awareness, and those 4 sentences, well, words, yeah, just this is what forgiveness is. It's beautiful what happened, and it started with a beautiful room, and then the text you spoke. I hope you will make it available for me. I like to say that every day. I don't know. I think you wrote it yourself. Was it from the course?
Well, firstly, Desiree, thank you for sharing your authenticity and your vulnerability. It's very beautiful to witness, and it takes great courage. So I wanted to acknowledge that, and I appreciate it. And no, actually, it's interesting. You said you want to. Annie and I do that to each other every single morning. Every morning. So one of the first things we do, we just look at each other and we each say that using our names. And it originated from, some of you must know, I'm sure, Miranda, as she is now, Miranda McPherson. She used to be, Miranda Holden, married to Robert Holden. And she brought out a little pamphlet, which she never published. There was never copyright or anything like that. But it was just a very thin pink pamphlet. I remember I got it very early on. And she had that prayer in a form in there. And that's where I first found it, like 20 years ago. And it so inspired me, and I've used it ever since, really. And then we've just sort of massaged it around, because it can be used with anybody. It doesn't have to be your love partner, your spouse, or you can use it with your friend, you can use it with your children, you can use it with the person in the shop. That's the beauty of it. So Annie and I use it for ourselves, and then we just massaged it around, and so to use it for the group, because it's true for everything. So that's what's lovely. So yes, I'd be happy to share that. I can share that. I'll send it today.
Wow. That would be wonderful, because
Perhaps, John, that you could send it to us, and then if anybody wants it, they can get in touch with Miracle Network and we'll forward it on to you.
Be happy to, Dan. Be a pleasure. And thank you, Miranda. I always like to acknowledge people for the origin of it. It was it blew me away when I saw it. This little tiny pink pamphlet. Some of you may, I'm sure Ian probably remembers it anyway. And it was just in there. I thought, wow, what a beautiful thing to say.
Thank you.
I don't remember actually, John, but I just wanted to say to Zero, this meditation this morning and all the meditations we do are on our YouTube channel, so you can listen. You can be reminded of those 4 sentences. You can read John's reading again. So it's Miracle Network on YouTube, and they're all there. This will be on there within the hour.
Thank you, Ian. Yeah, another wonderful service that we have from you lovely people. It's beautiful.
Sandy, would you like to share?
Yes, I just found it very very peaceful. It went into a really deep space of peace, just really profound. It was really so special. So thank you for that. I really needed that today.
Thank you. Glad it hit the spot, as they say.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Thank you.
And I love the Hopo Ono bit. It's just so wonderful, and again, that can be applied to anything and everything, and it's just such a special prayer, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yes, lovely. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's something in chat that says the Ho'oponopono prayer. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. So that's what it says. Who'd like to share? Oh, hold on, we got some. Just get Terry. Please unmute.
Thanks, Dan. Thank you, John. You've come a long way since you used to be a pirate of the seas, haven't you? You know, that was lovely. It was really lovely, John. You know, you're a great guy. You're a big softy. You're a good man. There's it reminds me of my favourite proverb from the East. Forgiveness is the fragrance the trampled flower gives off to the foot that crushes it. And you know what you said, what you described there this morning, it was just lovely to surrender into it. So thank you, John, really. And I even wore your blue for you this morning because I knew you were coming on.
Thank you, Terry. I love you, my friend. It's true, and I use that Ho'oponopono during the match. As you can see, I did it against Newcastle, and look at the result. No, it is lovely, and for me, I do treat it as a hobby, really. Forgiveness, you know. I always imagine going to some of those parties we used to go to in the old days, you know, where the first question anybody normally asks is, "Oh, hello, how are you? What do you do? What do you do for a living?" And I say, "Oh, I practice forgiveness." Yeah, but what? Yeah, but what do you do for a living? I practice forgiveness. Yeah, but what does that mean? You can just carry on, you know. Becomes it's like, let me not forget my function. So thank you. Yeah, I always enjoy you too. Thank you, Terry. You're a lovely man.
Maggie, would you like to share?
Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you so much, John. It was absolutely beautiful. Your voice, so comforting, and everything, you know, the visualization of us all together, and Ho'oponopono, I learned that some years ago, and thank you for reminding me. And it's so relevant what you talked about, the prayer and everything, because I feel it's very hard for me to forgive somebody at the moment. She is a sponsor from a 12-step fellowship, and she's been so controlling, and I just don't feel, I know what my path is, and she wants me to do certain things that I'm not ready to do. So I've been thinking about it all week, and yes, I feel angry with her.
You've gone. I can't hear you from Angela.
Sorry?
Oh no, you're back again. Yeah. Sorry.
Yes, I'm back again. Somebody tried to ring. So I just want to say thank you so much. I know, you know, I've got to do more work on this, and it was just absolutely lovely, John. Thank you.
You're welcome, Angela, and I very much resonate with you because I was part of 12-step as well, you know, and I know exactly what you mean about control. But I think the things that I learned through the course, because you know, eventually I was led to the course, when I can remember it in the moment, is that it's always a call for love, isn't it? It's a call for love, and there's many people, parts of many groups, and they are where they are, and any kind of desire, it's all a call for love. Everything's a call for love. And when I can remember that, I feel better, because then I don't feel like it, you know, triggered. But it's a great reminder. So thank you. Yeah.
I'd forgotten that. Thank you, John.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Angela, would you like to share?
Good morning, everybody, and thank you, John. That's absolutely brilliant. I had a lovely experience of the quietness and a little bit of education as well. There's an echo. I can hear my voice echoing back. I think I generally concentrate on a particular, for forgiveness, if I'm in something like this. There's an ongoing situation for years in my life, and unlike that lady who described a response, which was lovely, I don't get any resolution of it. So it's a lovely constant practice of forgiveness, and I think that one of the beauties, if you don't get a response from outside, is that I can now see the level of forgiveness I've reached with the situation, which is vast compared to when I started off with it. So mostly I'm in forgiveness about that, but it's still a little bit of a trigger. So that's usually my favourite grievance to concentrate on. But I became aware, you know, when you mentioned, John, about any little irritation, which I know about, but I became aware of something in the world that I have an opinion about. And I hadn't applied forgiveness to this opinion, and it does sometimes take me out of my peace. So I applied it to that, and I thought, oh yes, I do need to apply forgiveness to this. So thank you for that little reminder. It took me to the awareness of what this opinion is doing, and I know opinions are a great hiding place for the ego. So yeah, so that was really helpful. And the lesson 122 that you read out, I absolutely adore that lesson. It's so poetic, isn't it? It sparkles on your eyes when you wake, and lovely things like that. So that was a lovely treat to hear that again. Thank you. And in the quiet, it was just great. And Ho'oponopono, that's always a lovely one, isn't it, to add into the mix, which every little thing helps, doesn't it? All the little things. So it was thoroughly enjoyable. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate it. I got a lot from it. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, it was my realization when I realized this is not just about people. You know, it's about everything. Anything that triggers me, that disturbs my peace, I can use this for. What fun! What fun is that? You know, it's like my one this week. I'll be very open. It was, you know, I don't watch the news or read the papers, but it sometimes comes up on social media that there'd been a comment made by Matt Hancock that he deeply hopes that this mask wearing will become the norm for life, you know. So I developed an immediate opinion, as you said. So I just did it on Matt Hancock and all of that, and I felt better. It's all about we're feeling better. It's for us, isn't it, to feel good? Because that's our natural state, isn't it? Joy and fun and laughter, lightness, that's our natural state. And the only thing that's taken us away from that is our thoughts and our focus. So thank you for that reminder. It's lovely.
There's another comment here. Again, thank you so much. It's really an answer on my prayer to go deeper with forgiveness and meditation. And yes, you can find our email on the website. If you look at editor@miracles.org.uk, that'll do it. And Sandy, would you like to say something?
Yes, it's been really lovely to hear the joy in the lessons, that, you know, using the lessons, I know they're trying and they're bringing up all our niggles and all our problems and all our lessons that we individually need to learn as we forgive ourselves and realize our true selves. I'm just beginning to really experience the fun we can give to it if we allow it, and I'm really getting that from quite a few people speaking today, and that's been a real inspiration, really. So I want to thank people for that, for reminding me that, yeah, we can make this more fun.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Sandy. Yeah, I mean, Jesus is unequivocal in the Course, you know, when he states that the problem began when the Son of God remembered not to laugh.
Yeah.
You know, he has that great wisdom that laughter actually at the level of form actually does lift our immune system, first of all. Yeah. You know, and it's all those good feeling thoughts. And the more I've been with the Course, the more I find I begin to laugh at everything. Firstly, myself, because that's what's really important. That deconstructs the ego pretty quickly, you know, and then the rest of life, really, you know. And but it's tough, you know. It's tough when there's so much apparent, you know, hardship in the world. But we can look beyond it, can't we?
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have a couple of comments in the chat group. It says, "Great, John. Thank you so much. I love your take on the Course." And then another one says, "Do you find that when you practice forgiveness assiduously throughout the day, the ego steps up its game and brings in bigger and bigger forgiveness options?"
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't, it's like the way I answer most things. I don't know. I don't need to know. But I mean, for myself, my biggest evidence of the efficacy of practicing was when I disengaged with my former wife. It was very, very conflictual, and I found this forgiveness process, and I literally did it all day, because every time I thought about her, things that I thought she was doing, I got and I just kept doing it over and over and over and over again. I'm talking about for a long time, and forget about how and where and when, but the end result was we became such good friends that she came to our wedding, Annie and my wedding, and we mixed together now. And of course, the biggest recipient of that is the children. The children have said to me, what a difference it's made in their lives. So it does work. It does work, So yeah, but whether it brings up more and more, I think the ego does. I think the ego will try. It will do. What does the Course say? The ego is capricious at best and vicious at worst, which of course is true. So we just have to keep forgiving. It's like that old Buddhist term, thank you for everything, I have no complaint whatsoever. It's a nice one too.
I just wanted to share that I've made forgiveness a central part of my day. It's something I do all day, and I look for opportunities to forgive. And the ego does strike back. I mean, my ego has been kicking up such a difficult time. I get these panic attacks. Sometimes I hear music, a dance music, and it's so painful. I feel so frightened. But then I just hand it over to the Holy Spirit, and it goes. And I have asked, what is this for? And what I get is it's ancient healing. It's coming up for healing. So and then I feel kind of happy,
Yeah. Lovely. Thank you, Dan. Thank you.
Anybody else? We have a couple of minutes if you want. No. Okay. Well, thank you, John. That's been wonderful.
Thank you.
So beautiful gifts. Take yourself off of mute and show your appreciation to John.
Thank you,
Thank you,
John.
John.
Thank you,
Thank
John.
you.
Thank you, John.
Lovely.
Thank you very much, John. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You've been brilliant.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.